Welcome back to the Hard Knocks League podcast.
Week 4 already. Man, the season is flying by.
I know, right? And week 3 threw us some serious curveballs.
Yeah.
Like, who predicted Tampa Bay shutting out the Los Angeles Griffins?
Yeah, minus the Matt is probably pretty happy about that one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
While, say, John, on the other hand,
Yeah.
might be rethinking some things.
Yeah, that was a shocker. You know, the Griffins have some offensive potential, but Tampa Bay's defense, I mean, they just shut them down completely.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if we all underestimated Tampa Bay coming into the season.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the other side, you've got the Kansas City natives. They just keep on rolling.
They're a powerhouse.
Another week, another win. Although the New Orleans Boars, they really gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, it was a close one. The natives are looking like the team to beat right now.
Yeah.
Solid offense and a defense that can just lock things down.
Mm-hmm.
But the Boars showed us that they're not totally invincible.
Yeah, absolutely. So heading into week 4, let's take a look at the standings. We've got a crowded leaderboard with 6 teams undefeated.
Oh, wow.
Kansas City Natives, Baltimore Owls, New York Hornets, Tampa Bay Pirates, Las Vegas Vigilantes, and the Washington Bandits.
That's a lot of undefeated teams.
Yeah, it's getting intense.
This is going to be a tight race for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Any of those teams can make a serious run.
Absolutely. But then you look at the other end of the standings, and you've got the Denver Stallions, Jacksonville Wildcats, Tennessee Vipers, New England Marauders, Seattle Kings, and the Chicago Berserkers. They are all still searching for their first win.
Oof, 0-3 is a tough place to be.
Yeah, it's a rough start. Hopefully they can turn things around. But before we dive into the Week 4 matchups, let's talk about some of the standout players from Week 3. I was personally really impressed with Jordan Walters, the quarterback for the Baltimore Owls. 30 for 35, 333 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 sack. I mean, the guy was dealing...
He was on fire. It wasn't just the numbers, though. He was making really smart decisions out there. How about Brandon House, running back for the Buffalo Bulls, 123 rushing yards and a touchdown on just 17 carries against the Chicago Berserkers?
Yeah, he just bulldozed his way through that defense.
You could tell the Berserkers had no answer for him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
And then there's Vontaze Forrest, the cornerback for the San Francisco Miners.
Oh, he's electric.
9 tackles, 3 passes tipped, 9 punt return yards, 202 kick return yards, and a touchdown. Is there anything this guy can't do?
He is a true game changer. He impacts the game on defense on special teams. He's a lockdown corner, he's a dangerous returner, and he's not afraid to come up and make a tackle. A true triple threat.
Yeah, and last but not least, we got to give a shout out to David Whiting, defensive tackle for the Washington Bandits.
Oh, yeah, he was a beast.
7 pressures, 9 tackles, 7 for loss, 7 sacks, and a forced fumble. The guy was an absolute monster.
Unstoppable. He single-handedly disrupted the opposing offense. Living in the backfield. Quarterbacks are going to have nightmares about him.
So let's take a look at the injury report and see who's in and who's out for Week 4. First up, the bad news. Baltimore Owls wide receiver Brian Thompson is still out for another week with that elbow injury.
Ugh, tough break for his fantasy owners.
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Thompson's a key piece of that Owls offense, so his absence is definitely felt.
Yeah, and we've got another key player down. New Orleans, Boars cornerback Delano Thomas is out with an ACL tear. That's a huge blow to their defense.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's a lockdown corner.
And to add insult to injury, the Denver Stallions offensive line is taking a hit with center John Torrey Richards out for 3 weeks with a neck injury. Not good news for a team that's already struggling.
No, not at all. That's a big loss for the Stallions. Richards is the anchor of that offensive line.
Yeah.
And his absence is going to make it even tougher for them to protect their quarterback and get their running game going.
Yeah, it's not all bad news, though. We do have some good news on the injury front. New York Hornets cornerback Cooper Perry is expected to return this week from his elbow injury.
Oh, that's a big boost for the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
Perry is a top-tier corner, so his return will definitely make their defense even tougher.
Yeah, opposing quarterbacks better watch out. Now let's switch gears and talk about power rankings. For those of you who might be new to the game, power rankings are a way to rank teams based on their overall strength,
Yeah.
taking into account factors like win-loss record, strength of schedule, and recent performance.
Think of it as like a snapshot of which teams are hot and which teams are not.
Okay.
It can help you assess the true strength of a team, even if their record might not reflect it yet.
Gotcha. So who's making headlines in the power rankings this week?
Well, the Los Angeles Rhinos are making a big splash. They jumped a whopping 13 spots in the power rankings. They're now sitting pretty at number 11.
13 spots. That's a huge jump. What's fueling their rise?
It's a combination of factors. They're 2-1 now, with their only loss being a close one to the Indianapolis Dragons, who are a pretty good team themselves. Their offense has been balanced and efficient, and their defense is starting to gel.
So they're a team that's finding their groove and clicking on all cylinders.
Exactly. Now, on the flip side, we have the Dallas Sheriffs, who took a bit of a tumble, dropping 9 spots to number 18.
Ouch, what's behind their decline?
Well, the Sheriffs have been struggling with inconsistency, particularly on offense. They haven't been able to establish a consistent running game, and their passing attack has been hit or miss.
So they need to find their identity and start playing more cohesively if they want to turn things around?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Power rankings can help you identify potential sleepers, undervalued players, and teams that might be ripe for an upset. It's all about staying informed and using that information to your advantage.
Well said. Well, speaking of staying informed, are you ready to preview the Week 4 matchups? Because I'm ready for some football.
Always. Let's dive in.
All right, first up, we've got the Clash of the Titans. The undefeated Kansas City Natives taking on the Carolina Raptors. The Natives have been steamrolling their opponents, averaging over 39 points a game.
They've been a force of nature. But the Raptors, they've got one of the stingiest defenses in the league, only allowing a measly 16 points per game.
Yeah, this is going to be a strength versus a strength matchup. I'm already on the edge of a seat.
This one's going to be a battle.
And speaking of must-watch matchups, we've got the Los Angeles Griffins, led by, say, John, facing off against the Atlanta Hawks. Both teams are coming off losses and are desperate for a win.
This is a big game for both teams.
It really is.
Yeah.
This could be a make-or-break game for, say, John and the Griffins.
They need to show they can bounce back.
Yeah, they've got the talent,
Yeah.
but they've been inconsistent. Can they put it all together against the Hawks? We'll see.
We'll see.
And last but not least, we've got a clash of styles in the Houston Coyotes versus the San Francisco Miners. Both teams are 2-1, but they've gotten there in very different ways.
Yeah, the Coyotes, they have a high-powered offense that can just score in bunches. But the Miners, they rely on a stifling defense that has been shutting down opponents.
So something's got to give, right?
This is a classic battle of offense versus defense.
Who will prevail? Only time will tell.
Damn.
But those are just a few of the exciting matchups on tap for Week 4.
Now, I know you've been digging into the numbers and analyzing the stats. Are there any teams that you're particularly bullish or bearish on as we head into Week 4? Any bold predictions you want to throw out there?
Well, I'm still really impressed with the Kansas City Natives. They've been dominant on both sides of the ball, and I think they have the potential to go undefeated.
Wow, that's a bold prediction.
It is.
But I can't say I disagree. They've looked unstoppable so far.
Right.
But every team has a weakness, and if someone is going to expose Kansas City's, it just might be Carolina this week.
Yeah, that's why this week's game is so intriguing. It's a real litmus test for both teams.
On the other end of the spectrum, I'm a little worried about the Denver Stallions. They've been hit hard by injuries, and their offensive line is a major concern.
Especially with Dontari Richards out for another couple of weeks. That offensive line is like a sieve right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to struggle to score points, and their defense might not be able to carry them every week. It's going to be an uphill battle for them.
So you're predicting a rough season for the Stallions. I can't say I'm surprised. They've looked really out of sync in their first 3 games. Any other teams you're keeping a close eye on?
I'm really intrigued by the Los Angeles Rhinos. They've been quietly improving, and they've got a favorable schedule coming up.
Yeah, they made that huge jump in the power rankings this week.
13 spots.
That's a big statement. What's got you so optimistic about them?
Well, their offense has found its rhythm, and their defense is starting to gel. I think they have the potential to make some noise in the playoffs.
That would be a great story. A team that starts slow, but finds its stride and becomes a contender.
It would be.
So they're definitely a team to watch.
Absolutely.
We'll be back next week to break down all the action from Week 4. Until then, stay informed, stay active, and most importantly, stay ahead of the game.
And good luck to all your fantasy teams.
Thanks for listening, and remember to knock that subscribe button hard.